The origins of humanity, survival, daily life, and the preservation of the bloodline. Roughly 4 to 5 million years ago, Earth was a world of chaos and constant transformation. Lush green forests gave way to dry, open savannas, while catastrophic climate shifts reshaped the continents. Volcanoes rumbled, rivers dried, and storms ravaged the land. It was an age dominated by giant predators and primal fear. Packs of saber-toothed cats with blade-like fangs, giant hyenas rivaling today's lions, massive herbivores like woolly mammoths, giant rhinos, and prehistoric elephants. Crocodiles the size of small boats lurking in murky waters. Amid this dangerous world, a fragile creature began to rise. Australopithecus, our distant ancestor. They were small, vulnerable, and mostly defenseless. Yet, unlike the other animals, they possessed something unique, the seed of intelligence. They had no weapons, no fire, and no language, only their wits, sharp instincts, and the ability to cooperate. Every sunrise brought a new battle for survival. Cinematic imagery. A blazing sun rises over the African plains. A small group of upright figures crouches beneath a thorn tree. In the distance, a saber-toothed predator prowls through the tall grass. Silence and unity are their only hope. For these early humans, existence revolved around 4 primal needs: food, the energy to move, think, and fight another day; water, the essence of life itself; shelter, protection against predators and harsh elements; and reproduction, ensuring the survival of their bloodline. Each need shaped their behavior, migration patterns, and innovations. A failure in any one of these could mean the end of a tribe. As generations passed, these small groups began to form primitive communities. From chaotic clusters of individuals emerged the first hints of tribal organization, laying the foundation for human society. Voiceover transition. The story of humankind is, above all, the story of hunger. To eat was to live. To fail was to die. At the dawn of our species, food was scavenged rather than hunted. Early humans relied on roots and tubers dug from the soil, wild fruits and berries, many of which were toxic and deadly, insects, a critical source of protein, rotting carcasses left behind by predators. These foods were raw and often dangerous. Trial and error dictated what was safe to eat. Mistakes were often fatal. Scene: a curious child picks a brightly colored fruit. Hours later, the child writhes in agony as the tribe mourns. The knowledge is seared into collective memory. That plant will never be touched again. In time, our ancestors moved from scavenging to active hunting. This was a monumental leap requiring tools, sharpened stones to cut meat and break bones, coordination, using sound and gesture to communicate during hunts, strategy, anticipating animal behavior and exploiting weaknesses. Hunting tactics. 1. Ambush, hiding silently until prey wandered close. 2. Group chase, driving animals toward hidden hunters. 3. Natural traps, herding animals into cliffs, swamps, or fire. 4. Pack collaboration, much like wolves, relying on teamwork to bring down larger prey. This shift to hunting was a turning point. Animal protein provided concentrated nutrition, fueling brain growth and cognitive evolution. Fire changed everything. At first, fire came only from natural sources like lightning strikes. Eventually, humans learned to preserve fire, then create it through friction or striking stones. Reading this content is so eloquent. The benefits were revolutionary. Cooking meat made it softer and easier to digest. Warmth allowed survival in colder climates. Light extended activity into the night. Protection against predators who feared flames. The act of sitting around a fire became a cultural cornerstone, a place for safety, storytelling, and ritual. Cinematic imagery. Nightfall. A glowing fire encircled by faces painted with ash and blood. The tribe feasts, their shadows dancing on cave walls as distant predators howl in fear. While food was critical, water was non-negotiable. Early humans migrated constantly to stay near rivers and lakes. In dry seasons, entire tribes would perish searching for hidden springs. Skills emerged to read the land, following animal tracks to watering holes, observing bird flight patterns, digging wells in dry riverbeds. Control of water often led to conflict between tribes, foreshadowing the wars of future civilizations. As humans faced forces they could not understand, thunder, eclipses, earthquakes, belief systems emerged. The sun and moon became gods.
Fire was seen as a divine gift. Animal spirits were worshipped and feared. Shamans arose within tribes, individuals who seemed to have special connections with the unseen world. These early spiritual leaders provided comfort, guidance, and unity. Beyond survival, reproduction was essential for the continuation of the species. The harsh environment meant high infant mortality, so tribes needed constant births to maintain numbers. Mate selection was based on strength, health, and fertility. Stronger males often had multiple partners. Females favored protectors who could provide food and safety. This natural selection ensured that the fittest genes thrived, shaping human evolution. In the earliest days, there was no concept of marriage or exclusive bonds. Over time, pair bonds emerged as beneficial. A stable partnership allowed for better child rearing. It encouraged cooperation between hunters and gatherers. Children had a higher chance of survival with two caregivers. These partnerships were the foundation of the nuclear family. Women were revered as life givers. Pregnancy and childbirth were seen as sacred mysteries. Tribes often protected women fiercely, especially during migrations or wars. Rituals honoring fertility and motherhood became central to early spiritual practices. Scene: a circle of women chant softly as a mother gives birth by the firelight. The newborn's first cry is met with cheers, a symbol of the tribe's endurance. Competition for mates and resources often led to tribal warfare. Victorious tribes absorbed the women and children of the defeated, spreading their genetic legacy. This brutal process amplified dominant traits, driving human evolution through natural selection. As tribes grew and merged, unique cultural identities formed. Stories told around the fire became oral traditions. Symbols carved into stones became the first steps toward writing. Heroes and ancestors were remembered, forming the roots of mythology. These cultural seeds would one day blossom into civilization. Humanity's journey from fragile prey to apex predator was forged through hunger, struggle, and adaptation. Every meal scavenged, every shelter built, every child born was a victory against extinction. The instincts of our ancestors still echo within us. The urge to protect family, the desire to explore and innovate, the drive to compete and conquer. Voiceover closing.
From the flicker of the first campfire to the glow of modern cities, we are the living testament to 1,000,000 years of survival. The blood of the ancient tribes still flows through our veins, and though we have built empires and reached for the stars, we remain, at our core, the children of the wild.